Okay. Okay. I see it now. Okay. Good evening, Harlem and Harlems of the world. I'm Terry Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. And as many of you know, Harlem Network News is a media platform we started at the onset of COVID, and we are still here. We are an essential service. We bring news and information to the community. Often our stories are not told by mainstream media. So it's a very critical thing that we are here and we are still here. Today is an amazing day for us. We received our official press credential to the Democratic National Convention, where we are going to nominate officially in person the first Black woman president of these United States, and along with her vice president, Tim Walsh. So it's going to be phenomenal. This has just been history, and Harlem Network News is glad to be there to represent community, Harlem and Harlems of the world. And that encompasses a lot. So stay tuned. We need your support. Please donate. We have our GoFundMe out there, our Zelle, our Cash App. Reach out to us, 646-261-5397, so we can continue to do the work. We have to get there. We have our equipment, we have our team, and we want to really represent. That's what we want to do. We want to represent. Before I go further, we are going to really celebrate 100 years of 100 years, well, 50th. I'm going forward. 50 years of Harlem Week. But before I do that, I just want to really acknowledge and celebrate one of our unsung and sung heroes who became an ancestor, and that is in the person of Jeffrey Eaton. Amazing. He is the first vice president of the NAACP, and we will be memorializing him on the 24th. So I'm going to come with further information from that, but I just got that directive. The memorial service is going to be right here in Harlem, and I believe it's Salem Methodist, but we're going to give you further information on that, and we want to just acknowledge his family, his son, his brother, Babatunde, who has been teaching at Harlem School of the Arts for many years and part of the original Last Poets. This is just Harlem legacy. So I didn't want to go further without just speaking on one of our own. But moving into the Harlem Week and the 50th celebration, we have here with us another iconic Harlem hero, and that is in the person of Marko Nobles, who many of you know was one of our first Harlem Network News awardees. So thank you, Marko. Please share with us who you are, whose you are, a little bit about Harlem Week, your background, your company, and how you came to do all this. Thank you.
So thank you, Terry. And first, let me join you in lifting up the name, memory, celebrating the life of Jeffrey Eaton. He is someone who has touched many of us throughout the Harlem community and beyond. He connected many of us. Jeffrey actually did a lot of work with and for Harlem Week over the years, and it is strange to be going through this Harlem Week celebration without him, but as you said, he is watching over us. And he's helping guide our steps as we continue to move along. That being said,
okay, well, thank you for that. I'm going to interrupt just for a second because last year, and I know you're going to talk about all the Harlem Week activities, but last year when I got to the career fair for Harlem Week, and that's happening today. We're pre-recorded, so it's happening today. But the very first person that I saw when I walked into the big great hall was Jeffrey Eaton, and I interviewed him. So I'm going to make sure that we share that. And it was just a comprehensive interview. So I hear you when you say with the great part. And then I remember him helping to give out the NAACP Scholarship Award, of which my grandson, who's now a senior at Howard University, was a recipient, Messiah Wisdom. So, you know, it's like you said, he's a great part. I just wanted to interject that. So go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, so I'm pleased to serve as second vice chairman of the board of Harlem Week. I've been involved in Harlem Week for many of the 50 years. I say regularly that I am a child of Harlem Week. I have grown up within it, have participated in many levels of Harlem Week, and you know it is 50 years that we are celebrating now, and we are celebrating the journey. You know, that is our theme: celebrate the journey, and it really is just that, to celebrate the journey of this uh, festival that has grown from what was originally supposed to be a one-day, one-time event in 1974 to
Wow.
now, you know, an event that draws millions of people from around the world in person and watching online, and people come from, you know, as close as, you know, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, other parts of Manhattan, to as far away as, you know, California and Japan and South Africa, etc. So it is really an opportunity, as we, you know, are in this 50th anniversary year, to celebrate the journey of what Harlem Weekend and Harlem has been.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, and a number of the festivals that have come behind it, a number of the Harlem developments that have come behind, you know, what's happened, you know, with the first Harlem Day, and how, you know, there has been, you know, a new Apollo Theater. There's been a new Studio Museum in Harlem. There is
Mhm.
a new development of National Black Theater happening there.
Yes.
And ironically enough, you know, the founder of National Black Theater, Dr. Bob Rantier, was there on the very first Harlem Day, you know. So,
Okay.
you know, and we were blessed to have her daughter, Sade Lithcott, participate with us in a special panel on arts and culture and 50 years of Harlem arts and culture influencing Broadway. And that just aired, you know, a couple days ago, and it is
Okay.
continually available on our website, harlemweek.com, and I'll mention more about that later. But, you know, being able to celebrate these moments that have taken place over the years, and new moments that we are making, you know, is what this is all about. So we celebrate the journey, and we encourage everybody to celebrate the journey with us as we head into these final days of Harlem Week 2024.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, Marco. And I think it's very reflective as you speak about some of these institutions. I mean, Harlem is the Mecca. It is a Black Mecca.
Mhm.
And no matter where you go in the world, if you say Harlem, you know, people understand, even if they don't speak the language, they
Mhm.
understand that it's a place of culture, it's a place of history, it's a place of music, jazz, so many things, the Schomburg
Mhm.
Center. But I hadn't thought about it that way when you said that we're having a new studio museum. We are having a new National Black Theater. We are having the Urban Leagues Museum coming up. You know, we
Mhm.
have so many things that are happening. So it's about keeping that culture and that journey alive. And what would you share the theme again? Because I think it's befitting.
Yep, the theme is celebrate the journey. So, you know,
Okay.
if you look at the journey of where we were and where Harlem was in particular in 1974, where Harlem was not nearly as popular as it is now. As a matter of fact,
Mhm.
every news story you saw on television was negative about Harlem. You know, if
Mm.
something happened on 34th Street and Fifth Avenue, or on Houston Street and Hudson Street, or Houston and Canal. If it
Right,
happened
right.
on those streets, if it happened in Harlem, it happened in Harlem. So all of Harlem got a negative rap. You know, every time you saw something on the news. Now Harlem is hot. You know, everybody wants to live in Harlem, move in Harlem. Businesses coming to Harlem, like you said, new National Urban League
Yes.
headquarters coming to Harlem. You have new Trader Joe's, you have Whole Foods, you have, you know, the various chain restaurants, the Chick-fil-A's and the
Mhm.
Cane's Chicken Fingers and all of these.
We have our new Victoria Hotel and
Victoria
Renaissance.
Hotel.
So we have a lot, but I
Yeah.
think Harlem Week, as you said, it started as a day, and I remember all those times where we went to Gracie Mansion and we celebrated, and so many other things that are a part of it. But this is a part of, I guess, history, culture, celebrations that we have created, like a Kwanzaa, or the International African Arts Festival or Dance Africa. These are celebratory things that we have created. So I believe, and this is Harlem Network News. I'm Terri Wisdom, and I'm here speaking with Marko Nobles of Enjoy Productions, who is representing Harlem Week and does a myriad of things and has been doing a myriad of things for Harlem Week. But I just think a real significance is that our institutions that we have built stand.
Mhm.
And that's a
Absolutely.
very, very critical thing because there's a lot going on in the world. There's been a lot going on in Harlem with gentrification. And you're correct, back in 74, there was a lot of warehousing of buildings. And, there was just, we have really weathered the storm. But the question is, how do we maintain the soul of Harlem, the essence of Harlem, and how do we keep the people that have been the backbone? How do we keep them here? How do we lift them up? This is a critical thing. And I think Harlem Week, when you get out and you see the sea of people, just like when it's the African American Day Parade and you see the sea of people, you know that this is the soul of Harlem. And Harlem Week is here to lift up. So, Marko, if you would just share when it began, what some of the activities are that have already happened, and if folks are able to tune in.
Hmm.
And we're in this age of technology, so that's like a beautiful thing,
Yes.
but it's also good to touch and be in person. So let us know what has transpired that folks can still view, and also what's coming up, because we got a lot coming up. So
Yes,
thank you, Marko.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So Harlem Week this year, the dates, the beginning dates, kept getting extended because there were so many things to include and be a part of. So, we technically started on August 1st this year, with Sylvia's, the world famous Sylvia's restaurant annually has their community breakfast and anniversary celebration. So that's what we kicked off Harlem Week with. That took place on August 1st in the morning of, where hundreds of people were able to get a free breakfast from courtesy of Sylvia's. We we were blessed to be able to partner with New York City Department of Transportation, who has been doing New York City summer streets, throughout the city. And in the Harlem area, where summer streets comes through, because it comes all the way up to 125th Street and Adam Creighton Powell Jr. Boulevard on August 3rd, and then August 10th, and coming up this Saturday, August 17th. Each day is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Harlem Week, where there are special performances. A number of Harlem organizations are specifically selected to participate and share information with the community. There was the actual New York City Rise Up concert that took place on August 4th, that also celebrated the 50th anniversary of Harlem Week.
Okay.
We've also had our climate change conference that took place on August 7th. We had our Senior Citizens Day, which is always one of the most important days of Harlem Week, where we honor our elders. We've had our, excuse me, a great day in Harlem.
A
It
great
was
day in
just
Harlem.
last
Yes,
year,
yes.
was a fantastic day. It was a beautiful day. And we were blessed to have a partnership with Caribbean Cultural Center, African Diaspora Institute, where they presented a fabulous presentation, that talks about us being home, whether we're coming from the continent or coming through Haiti in the Caribbean, or being here in Harlem, whether it's East Harlem, West Harlem, Central Harlem, that we are all home. And so those are some of the amazing things that have taken place
Wow. Wow.
thus far. And we have a lot more to go. You mentioned the Jobs and Career Fair.
Yes.
Been taking place today at City College of New York, with
Mm,
thousands of people coming
mm.
to get information on job opportunities, being able to visit some 60 different exhibitors and persons who have information on job opportunities in multiple fields,
Yeah.
whether it's technology or banking or public safety or green jobs or what
Yeah.
have you.
Yeah.
Um,
You had a lot of great jobs. So I'm looking forward. And as I said, we're pre-recorded. It's Harlem Network News, but I know as you're watching this show, the career fair has taken place. And I believe that you'll still be able to reach into some of those careers, because I know last year there was such an array of businesses that had job opportunities. And one in particular, I don't remember the name of the firm, but they were a Black, I believe, structural engineering firm. And you see all the building that's going on here. So,
mhm, mhm,
that's
mhm.
a powerful thing. And
Yes,
all of these are funneling through uh, Harlem Week, you
yes,
know, because it's a very, it's not a one-dimensional thing. Harlem
right,
is not a one-dimensional thing. So
exactly.
it's very powerful that all of these things are being covered. So, Marco, what I know you said you've done many things, but I know all the time when it's Harlem Week, you are the person that does the interviews, and I'm gonna get Tony maybe next time or after all is said and done. But you're usually the person that does the interviews. Like, what is your background, capacity, role? Is there one role that you have with Harlem Week? What is it, please?
Well, I'm not sure if it's one role, but through the major roles I've had over the years is being a media liaison, PR person with Harlem Week. But I've also worked in terms of the programming end of of what happens with our events and what happens on our stages, with our concerts, with our performances, etc. So in terms of the entertainment production and the media. That's in general where my areas of responsibilities lie.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. And I remember last year as well, when there, I believe there was the banking event.
Hmm.
And however the live stream or the video or whatever, however it was set up, I was like, wow, this is like incredibly innovative,
Hmm.
So I know that you were at the helm of that.
Yes,
So
I
yeah,
do work a lot
glad.
with our virtual productions as well, and certainly thanks to Robert Allen, our senior virtual producer of all of our Harlem Week events, and all of the team that works with him to help make all of our virtual productions come off properly, and certainly we remind everybody that if you can't join us in person at any Harlem Week events, you can always watch online because we live stream most of them, or we record many of them and play them back. and it's all available on harlemweek.com.
Okay, okay. So we've been talking about Harlem Week, but if you could just share a little bit about the Greater Harlem Chamber of
Mhm.
Commerce, because I believe that's a part of the foundation. So if you would just share about that connection and how that all flows. Thank you.
Yes. So the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce is the parent organization of Harlem Week. Harlem Week is one of the signature, programs of the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. The Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce was founded in 1896 as
Woo.
the Uptown Board of Trade. Um, for many of those years, a lot of the members and certainly the officers did not look like us, but I believe Hope R. Stevens was the first Black president of what was then the Uptown Chamber of Commerce. And other presidents included Lloyd Dickens, the father of Assemblymember Inez Dickens.
Wow. Okay.
And then you also had Percy Sutton for a long time was chairman of the board of the Uptown Chamber of Commerce and then Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. And Percy Sutton was the impetus behind the launching of Harlem Day, when he
Mhm.
tapped Lloyd Williams and Tony Rogers and Bozo
Mhm.
Rivers and a number of others, all at the time with who had an organization called Black Africa Promotions. He tapped them to work on and create Harlem Day, um, and then Harlem Day turned into a weekend and a week and 2 weeks and longer. But it all started there. But the chamber is a membership organization. There are some close to 2,000 members, ranging from mom and pop businesses, entrepreneurs, to Fortune 200 companies. And the motto of the chamber is the business of business is people. So it's
Okay.
about, the chamber is able to look at helping businesses in many different ways, whether it's helping them and building relationships with other chamber members, which
Mhm.
is at the heart of what the chamber does. But also the chamber is involved in tourism and arts and culture and health initiatives. And there is an arm which is the Greater Harlem Housing Development Corporation, which is responsible for much of the affordable housing, particularly in the square block of 134th Street to 136th Street from
Wow.
Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard over to St. Nicholas Avenue.
Okay. Can
So,
you repeat that? Because that's one of the things I love about doing Harlem Network News. And Harlem Network News is a proud member of the chamber, and we have
yes,
participated in the special Harlem Day that's coming up, or Saturday, Sunday, and it's a good time to meet with the people. But if you could just share, because I wasn't even totally familiar with that, the housing arm. Can you
yes,
just repeat
the
that, so
good,
people can take that in?
yes.
Okay.
Greater Harlem Housing Development Corporation um, is an entity that manages, uh, I want to say, uh, over a couple of hundred units of housing. In the area from 134th Street to 136th Street, from Adam
Okay.
Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard over to Frederick Douglass Boulevard, over to, I'm sorry, St. Nicholas Avenue. Um,
Okay.
that
Wow.
so that includes a condo complex called Stryver's Gardens,
Mm.
which is on 135th Street between Frederick Douglass Boulevard and St. Nicholas Avenue, and then
Mm.
includes a number of the residential affordable housing units along 135th Street from Frederick Douglass Boulevard over to Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard.
Okay. Well, you heard it right here on Harlem Network News. So, wow, I love it. Okay. So, Marco, we're going to wind down.
Mhm.
If you could just share a little bit more about what's coming up, and how folks can get involved. And I don't know if you want to highlight some of the folks that are going to be honored over the weekend, or a little sneak about who all performed. Thank you.
Uh, so there are many things coming up. We are winding down to our final weekend of the 17th and 18th. Before we get there, coming up on tomorrow are three different events that are taking place. We have the Black Health Matters Health Summit taking place on Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Alhambra Ballroom. It's a free event. You're invited to come out. You can register on the Harlem Week website on harlemweek.com. If you go into the schedule, and you'll see what's going on for the day there and register for that. There's also the Harlem Summer Stage in front of the State Office Building with some great performances from wonderful independent artist Jay Swiss and one of the local musical heroes, Keith the Captain Gamble, will be
All right.
performing. And then, also on Thursday evening, we have our banking and finance and cybersecurity conference that takes place at the Chase Community Banking Center on 125th Street. And that is, again, open, entrepreneurs, business people, people who are looking for information on access to capital. You are all invited to come out and join that event. We also have them going into Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, we have our Summer in the City event, 135th Street from St. Nicholas Avenue all the way over to Malcolm X Boulevard. We have the first day of our Children's Festival. We have 3 fashion shows taking place during the day. We have performances from a number of wonderful artists. And we are not only are we celebrating the 50th anniversary of Harlem Week, but we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of WBLS-FM, which happened to start at the same time as Harlem Week in the same building, as a matter of fact.
Okay, history, making history.
Yeah. And on Saturday evening, there'll be a special tribute to the Quiet Storm and Vaughn Harper, who created and was the voice of the Quiet Storm for many years. Sunday is Harlem Day. It is the day that started it all, and we are on 135th Street from St. Nicholas Avenue all the way over to Fifth Avenue. Our second day of our Children's Festival, 4 stages of entertainment taking place. We have a health village taking place. We have our international vendors village on both Saturday and Sunday. I didn't mention on Saturday, we have our spelling bee at Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, the Alex Trebek spelling bee, I should say. And then we also have Saturday night, almost the near culmination of the Harlem Week Imagination Indoor-Outdoor Film Festival. So it is outdoors in St. Nicholas Park on the evening of the 17th.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, the film being shown is Summer of Soul, so everybody can get out in the park and enjoy watching that film. Even if you've seen it before, it's a great film to see while you have your picnic basket out on the great lawn of St. Nicholas Park. And I should mention that the film festival is actually an ongoing film festival that you can see. There's one of the films being shown on Friday is Loudmouth, which is the
Reverend
film
Al Sharpton's film.
Reverend Al Sharpton, and there will be a special talk back after the film, and it's being shown at National Action Network. And the talk back is at National Action Network. So that's very unique and very special. And it's a Harlem Week 50 film festival that's taking place, and people have been enjoying the films all week long at different locations around Harlem, indoors and outdoors. And again, as Harlem Day, goes on, you have so many different things. We have appearances from the WNBA's New York Liberty. We have performances from Harlem's own hip hop artist A$AP Ferg, who many people know and enjoy. We'll have Ray Chu and friends doing wonderful performances, including the official hip hop Harlem Week 50 theme song called Jam. So there's a lot to enjoy, and we invite everybody to come out and celebrate the journey of Harlem Week 50 in our final few days. And we remind everybody, if you can't join us in person, you can join us online and watch from wherever you are on harlemweek.com.
Okay, well, I love it. I'm just, my head is spinning just listening to all of it. It sounds like not a lot of sleep, but it's just a wonderful coming together of the people. This is Harlem, and we need this kind of encouragement and change and upliftment of the community, always around economic empowerment for our community. Lifting up of our education, here in Central Harlem. It's very, very critical. But just listening to what Harlem Week and the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce continues to do, we know these things don't happen overnight, but we are still here. And I believe the Harlem Mothers and Fathers Save, they're doing a chess thing, and I'm a member of
Mm.
that organization. Shout out Jackie Rowe Adams. They're
Yes.
doing chess where the young people will be playing chess with our NYPD. So it's going on a lot of levels. So Marko, if you would just give us a closing statement, something you want folks to remember, to take with them. You are doing an amazing job, and I'm glad you mentioned everybody else. You're a great interviewer. You mentioned Lloyd, you Williams, you mentioned Tony Rod, and I'll say thank you, Winston Majed, and all of that
Absolutely.
other team, Charlotte Sutton, shout out to all of you all, who are working. Those are everybody. And the fact that everyone's been able to connect and gel all this whole period of time.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah.
Well,
So
certainly,
closing
Terri.
statement.
Well, certainly, Terri, thank you for the platform of Harlem Network News, and congratulations on going to the Democratic National Convention. Uh, and we will follow you and celebrate the journey that you'll be on. And
Okay.
we invite everybody to do the same. And Harlem Week, continues on over these next few days, and hopefully we look forward that everybody will continue to join us and celebrate the journey in the next 50 years. Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
But we certainly appreciate all the support that we've gotten over the years, and certainly look forward to this weekend and our events leading into this weekend, where, because it's always a family affair, it's always a family reunion when we get to 135th Street, where we're all able to enjoy each other and enjoy our community, and we look forward to being able to do that. And so thank you again, Terri. We remind everybody to follow us on social media.
Yes.
On all platforms, you can find us at Harlem Week, and keep in touch. Let us know what you're enjoying. Leave us comments so that we can respond and continue to have a great celebration that everybody can be a part of, because it is for everybody.
Okay. Well, thank you, Marko. A lot said, well said. And Harlem Week and the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce are show us what we can do, show us the journey. And as Marko said, I am just very elated because Harlem Network News, our journey is 4 years, but there's a lot that went towards that journey because I'm a, over 30-year veteran in the film and television industry. So to have started Harlem Network News at the onset of COVID, and for us to now be chosen to go to the Democratic Convention, that's huge. And we really are going to do some great things there and make some connections, and also knowing that we represent Harlem and the Harlems of the world. So that is going to be our focus, our base, and assuring that our candidate, Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, knows about us, is try to come to Harlem, speak to us, understand our issues, because we are a battleground state in another way in terms of, getting more people to vote and registering and then actually coming out and voting. And then also tooling our agendas. What are the needs of the community? And I do want to give a shout out to Harlem for Harris that convened about 300 women at our statue a couple of weeks ago. Harriet so people are doing the work. They had a Zoom. They are going to be out at Harlem Week full force. Our state is gathering, or they had a meeting tonight, and the Attorney General's on the meeting. So people are keeping it going. We're keeping it going. And it shows if you steer the course, if you do the work, and of course, we know there's divine intervention that's happening. So thank you very much. Go to Harlem Network News, subscribe to our channel. If you have stories or information, please bring it to us. You can reach us at 646-261-5397. If you're a business and you want to help sponsor us going to the Democratic Convention, please do that. If you're a union and you want to sponsor us, you can do that too. And Harlem Network News at gmail.com. We have our GoFundMe, we have our Zelle, our Cash App, and we take old-fashioned checks too, and we have a nonprofit. So thank you for that. And I'm just grateful to be here, and grateful to be here with you once again, Marko, keeping the tradition.
Thank
Getting
you,
our
Terri.
interview in. There's a lot
Yes,
going on, but we're here and we're still here and we did it. And this is us. I won't say they're not like us, but this is us. I'm gonna coin that phrase. So blessings. Thank you. And everybody come on, turn out for Harlem Week. And it's also a time where there are a lot of vendors, community vendors out there with their products. And that's important too, because that's circling the money, keeping the money in the community. And this is a very diverse community, a very diverse and community of the diaspora still. So thank you. I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News, and we've been here with the amazing Marko Nobles of Enjoy Productions, and he just keeps getting better. So thank you. Take care. Have a good night.